it's Jen, and here's my friend Megan.
What up, guys? YouTube.com/Strawburry17. Subscribe.
She does cool videos on nerdy, geeky, awesome things as well.
It's a nerdy assortment of goodies. You just have to check it out.
We are going to do the My Firsts tag. These are kind of hard, guys. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, my memory is not that great, so I'm just ready. Just whatever you throw at me, I'm ready.
You know, internet years are like 50 human years.
Seriously.
Question number 1. What was your first tweet? Megan?
Testing the new Cam. Posted on May 23rd, 2008.
Ah, early adopter.
Yeah.
Mine was from December of 2008, so I was a little after yours. And I said, reinstalling computer programs after reformatting.
What a nerd.
Question number 2. What was your first YouTube video?
Oh man, it's of me doing a high five on a skateboarding ramp with my friend. And it's like 6 seconds long. Hey, what can I say? I'm like Tony Hawk.
It would probably take me a year. I had a tutorial of how to put on mineral makeup.
Was it edited?
It was edited. Yeah. I didn't talk in it because I didn't like my voice.
So it's just
really,
you putting
really
on makeup and then that's it?
Yeah, all of my first makeup tutorials I didn't talk, so I was really shy.
So it was just text?
I would do the tutorial and then I would put text of like what I was doing.
That's awesome.
So the next question, who is the first person you subscribed to on YouTube?
Ooh, easy. The Hill 88. She was like my hero. I was like, I'm gonna start YouTube because of her.
The first person I significantly remember was Steffi Nees. She was a blogger that I followed and she did makeup tutorials. And I loved her makeup tutorials. What was your first Facebook profile pic?
This is me. What do you think of that?
Actually, other than the direction of the bangs, it's not too different than how you look right now.
It's pretty similar. I still have that shirt, actually.
My first Facebook picture is hilarious because it wasn't a picture of me. It was this really dumb MS Paint drawing. We call it Jingle Bear. It was an inside joke between my boyfriend at the time, Ben, who is now my husband. He drew it and I thought it was hilarious.
That's great.
Jingle Bear was my first Facebook picture.
Never forget.
Do you still talk to your first love?
No way, that's crazy. I've only had 2 loves in my life and I wouldn't even think about talking to the first one.
Yeah.
That'd be way too crazy.
For me, yes, because I ended up marrying him.
Lucky!
Ben was my first love. What was your first alcoholic drink?
Oh my gosh, I remember this, the first time I ever drank. It was a Smirnoff Ice. I just had like 1 sip, but it was like very memorable. Because like Smirnoff was like the drink of choice.
I think the first drink I ever had, it wasn't a rosé or a blush wine or champagne.
Oh, you're fancy.
You know, just like a little tiny thing because it was like with Ben's family and they were just pouring little tiny things for everyone. It was like celebrating.
That's so funny. Mine was Smirnoff. Yours was like, it was a nice rosé. I think the year was, I can't quite remember. It was just fabulous though.
I think very fabulous. What was your first job?
My first job was working at As Seen on TV. $19.99. If you act now, we'll give you 5 million more knives. What was your first job?
My first job, I worked as cashier person for my aunt's alteration shop. What was your first car?
My first car was a Honda Civic sedan and the brakes went out and I almost died and my grandma was really afraid for me, so she gave me money to buy a new car.
That's really scary. My first car was a light blue 92 Taurus and it had a gray interior. It was like straight up grandma car. Like it used to belong to a grandma car.
Like legit, this was a grandma's car.
Oh yeah, I was rolling
with the homies? That's Clueless. Yeah, that's all I got.
Who was the first person to text you today?
It was my friend Joey. We were talking about Attack on Titan, how he needs to catch up.
My first text today was from my best friend back in Kansas. Her name is Megan.
I like your friend's name. Good choice.
Oh, Megan, hello. Who was the first person you thought of this morning? It was me, right? Because you were thinking
I thought of you, Jen. Yeah.
I think the first person I thought of was Oreo. He's a person.
Person, dog. Same thing.
Okay. Who was your first... Wait, is this first grade or first grade teacher? So I'm gonna go with my kindergarten teacher.
Good idea. I'll do
I
the
think
same.
we're both going to go with our kindergartner teacher. So my kindergartner teacher was named Mrs. Gabriel.
Kindergarten teacher, her name was Miss Sellers, and she was the coolest lady in the freaking world.
Aren't they always?
And on the last day of school, I cried super hard because I wasn't gonna see her.
The next question, where did you go on your first ride on an airplane?
To LA. My family was going to Disneyland. And we flew from Northern California to SoCal, and it was my first airplane experience.
Maybe my first might have been to Korea when I was 8 years old.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's an intense first plane trip.
It is a really first. I couldn't sleep. Like
Oh my
nobody could
gosh.
sleep because it was just like so hard to.
Get comfortable, especially as
Yeah.
a kid because you're always so squirmy anyways. I could
know.
not imagine being a kid and being on a plane.
Who was your first best friend and do you still talk?
My first best friend was this girl named Hopi. And I was drawing on the fence because I didn't have any friends and I was really sad. And she came up to me and she was like, "What are you drawing?" And I was like, "Power Rangers." And she's like, "I love Power Rangers. We're about to go play. Do you want to play?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "You have to be the Pink Ranger though because you're white." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." I always wanted to be Trini, but I was like just happy I had a friend. We're Facebook friends and I talk to her every now and
Oh,
then.
that's cool. My first best friend was named Simberly Milstead.
Whoa, that's a crazy name.
Simberly, I know.
Simberly.
I literally haven't seen her since first or second grade
Really?
or something. Yeah. Where was your first sleepover?
Oh, I can't remember this.
I don't remember this either.
Skip.
How about this? This
I
is a
just-
better question. I'm gonna make my own. What was your first memorable sleepover movie?
This was when I was in 5th or 6th grade. But all my friends came over and we had a sleepover and it was after softball practice and we all watched Spice World. And it was
that was a good one.
it was like our movie. We're all like, yeah, acting like we were different Spice Girls.
I had a few, but it was like 10 Things I Hate About You.
Oh, that's a good
I
one.
loved watching that one, so that means a lot to me. And I also really loved Romeo and Juliet, the one with
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio. It was
Sexy Man. That
Loved
soundtrack
that
was
one.
really good
It's
too.
an amazing soundtrack, one of my favorite of all time. What was the first thing you did this morning?
I checked to see if my videos went up because I fell asleep before they had finished uploading and they did. Success!
The first thing I did,
Think about Oreo.
I did. I know I came out here because Ben was out here with Oreo, and you know I groggily came into the living room and greeted my dog. This is how I groggily greet my dog.
Like groggy.
What was the first concert you ever went to?
I won tickets to this concert from the radio, and it was an Alien Ant Farm concert.
Oh yeah, I remember them.
It was
they did
so
that.
random.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah,
The Michael
and
Jackson cover.
remake. Yeah,
I
it was.
loved that one.
It was such a random concert, but that was my first one I had ever gone to.
My first was a Hanson concert.
Oh, that's adorable.
And I went to several subsequent Hanson concerts because I was
Have you seen them? Did you see them when they did their reunion tour? 'Cause I went to
I've
that
seen
concert, and it was pretty
several
great.
reunion tours.
Oh wow, you are still in bop
I
band.
know. First broken bone.
It was this one. I was rollerblading.
Oh, that's a tiny scar.
Yeah, it was quite a lot bigger when I was younger.
I have never broken any bones, so I still don't have a
Jeez.
first.
You don't need to.
But I do have my
painful.
crooked pinky, but I was born that way.
Oh,
It's just,
you might have broken in the womb. Maybe you're like
I know.
punching-
So technically, this could be
you're first.
my first broken bone. What was your first piercing?
Oh, my ears when I was little. I was still under 1 year old, I think.
You
Yeah.
had them ever since you were like an infant?
Yeah, it's like it's a
awesome.
very Latin thing to do. Oh, I'm half Mexican, by the way. You cannot tell. For the longest time, I thought I was adopted, but I'm not.
I got my ears pierced when I was 5, so I was little, but not as little as you, because I'm not that Latin.
You're not Latin at all. You're Korean.
No, but I like to salsa dance.
Doesn't count. Doesn't count.
First foreign country you've gone to?
The first place I ever went outside of the U.S. was Mexico, then Canada, then all of Europe, and then I raced around the world on an amazing race.
Amazing Race. I have not gone on the Amazing Race, but I have traveled to. Korea was my first country
That's
out
cool.
of the U.S.
We both went to our homelands as our first, like, you went to Korea, I went to Mexico.
Yes. What is the first movie you remember seeing?
Lion King in theaters, and I cried.
I think the first one that I really significantly remember seeing in theaters was a Goofy movie.
Oh,
It was at my
cute.
friend's birthday party, and it was so neat because we got to go back into the projection room and turn on the movie. When was your first detention?
Shortly after becoming friends with Hopi, when the bell would ring, we would just keep playing because we were so into playing Power Rangers, and then we'd get detention.
I have never had detention. I was very goody two-shoes. I always got everywhere on time, and...
That is the opposite of me.
Who was your first roommate?
Catrific on YouTube.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, my first ever roommate.
My first roommate was a girl named Vanessa, and she was an art teacher. If you had one wish, what would it be? How was that a first?
That can't be a first.
What was your first wish ever?
Must have been like 3 or 4, and I think I wished for an infinite amount of candy.
I think around that age, you know how everybody asks, what do you want to be when you grow up? I think I first wanted to be a comedian when I was like 3. And then I wanted to be a ballerina. And then when I was probably about 4 or 5, I decided I wanted to be an artist. So
Nice.
I wished to be a funny dancing artist.
And look at you now.
Not too different than what I am doing now.
Yeah.
Living the dream.
Not so much ballerina though. You might have missed out on that one.
Gosh, I just pretend.
When I was like 5, I wished I could be Asian and grow up and be like Trini. That's what I really hoped for because she was my idol.
So the next question is, what was the first sport you were involved in?
Ooh, T-ball. Easy.
I did ballet when I was like 5 years old, and I remember we did this dance to We Are Siamese, if you please.
That's awesome.
But then I got really into gymnastics, so I would say gymnastics was my first sport. Like every single recess, I would spend it on the jungle gym bars, like doing flips off of them.
So cool.
And just like tumbling all the time, doing lots of
I would have thought you were so
cartwheels and
cool.
springy and back bends, and I used to have these mad calluses.
But that
all
was like
over my
cool
hands.
though. You guys were like, you'd be like, oh yeah, I got
Battle
the bliss.
scars.
Yeah, the battle scars.
What is the first thing you do when you get home?
Take off my bra. No.
We both do that.
Yeah, it's like
For real.
freedom. Like,
A little TMI, but that's okay. We like to be braless. When was your first kiss?
My first kiss ever was when I was 4. His name was Bo, and he was my friend, and everyone would be like, Megan and Bo sitting in a tree, Kissing. And I came home to tell my mom, like, yeah, I kissed Bo the other day, it was pretty great. And then my dad's like, your lips are gonna fall off. Oh my gosh, I don't want my lips to fall off. So I went into the sink and I was washing my mouth out with soap because I was like, no, I'll never kiss a boy again.
My first real kiss wasn't until I was 16,
Me too.
and it was to Ben over there. He was my first like legitimate boyfriend. We did little cheek kisses before we upgraded to like a real full-on kiss, and it was sweet.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
Mine was when I was 16 too, but it was not enjoyable at all. Like so much saliva. I was obviously not this person's first kiss, and I went in like all like just thinking it's gonna be like how it is in the movies, and the guy just like was like and like got his mouth out over me, and saliva was dripping from my face after. I was just like,
well, I guess that was the last question.
I really felt like I got to know you.
Yeah,
here
I know.
These first. Yeah.
But then now we know that we like to go braless. It's a mutual thing, ladies.
Everyone's gonna say it. It's so true. It's so true.
Well, if you guys also like to be braless, give us a thumbs up. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Please subscribe to Megan, Strawburry17. I'll leave a link on her face right here. So I would love to hear about one of your firsts. Leave a comment down below letting us know what your first job desire was. Like when you were really little and what you wanted to be when you grew up. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will talk to you guys very, very soon. Bye!
Like, I really like chips and salsa. Taco Bell's my favorite. So I'm like super Latin.
Like little and what you wanted to be. They ask you that on the Nintendo 3DS. Ben says he wants to grow up to be big. Me too, I still want to do that.
I was gonna say, I feel like that's something's confused you.